Your Excellencies, Your Royal Highnesses, distinguished guests, the world has really come to London for the 30th Olympiad, and what a great occasion it has been. Those of us lucky to be at last night's opening ceremony can only take pride in the dazzling creativity and humour on display. And as an English and Irishman, and as a Londoner, it makes me doubly proud. I might also add, I was astonished at our parachuting queen. But this is the Diamond Jubilee, and what more is we expect from What also makes me very happy is that the Olympics has brought so many of you here tonight. We are delighted to have with us once again our Grand Master, His Royal Highness Prince Carlo Bourbon, Duke of Castro, and his consort, Her Royal Highness Princess Camilla. I would also like to welcome the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, His Excellency Kenny Anthony, as well as the many other heads of state who I mentioned earlier today. I would also like to welcome the 26 Ministers of Sport that are in this room today, and the 17 heads of Olympic delegations. May I also welcome my father-in-law, Prince Peter von Hohenberg, who has travelled from Vienna to be with us. I am delighted also that we have present so many distinguished leaders of so many Christian churches here in the United Kingdom. I would also like to welcome the Apostolic Nuncio to the Court of St. James, Archbishop Manini, our confrere, and their graces, the Archbishops of Westminster and Cardiff, the Bishop of Menevia, as well as their eminences, the leaders of the Russian, Georgian, Ukrainian, and Greek Orthodox churches. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our most distinguished guests this evening. I would also, not just as delegate of the Constantinian order, like to welcome the many knights and dames who have travelled from across the world to be with us. From Germany, from Ireland, from Monaco, from the United States, from Italy, from Japan. You are all most welcome here this evening. You will also be relieved to know that our Royal Gala Dinner tonight is not sponsored by any large corporation behind the Games. And so the menu is little more varied than I believe that has been offered in the Olympic City. But nevertheless, a good meal it was. And our clothes, fortunately, do not compete with the logos of sport manufacturers. So I would therefore like to single out the Catholic chaplain to the Games, the Very Reverend Monsignor Vladimir Feltzman, who is the Chief Executive of the John Paul II Foundation for Sport, who is wearing the official Olympic wear instead of his customary clerics. Monsignor, please stand. Monsignor Feltzman has done much to educate us, especially Catholics, in the deeper significance of the Games, and why we should delight in them. We have many reasons to be grateful for the Olympics tonight. Yes, because they have brought us together from so many different nations, 72 in this very room tonight. But also because of the values which they promote are ones which our order can easily identify. Those values were promoted by the founder of the modern Games, a Jesuit-educated French aristocrat and school reformer in the late 19th century. Baron Pierre's idea of an international athletics competition was not for his own sake, but to promote the values which he saw in the ancient games: peace and understanding between nations, a struggle to overcome our own limitations as being more important than winning. The Games, says the Olympic Charter, seeks a way of life based on the joy of effort, the educational value of good example, and respect for universal, fundamental, ethical principles, and a peaceful society concerned with the preservation of human dignity. I would also like to mention this evening the unique fact of the London Olympics is that this is the first time that women have competed in every national team. Tonight we are honoured by the presence of the Ministers of Sport of Oman and Kuwait, and this order also received a message from our confrère Prince Carlo, the Governor of Mecca, pointing to this very fact. Still, for some of us, the Olympics brings more than a share of discomfort. The unceasing parade of lean and healthy bodies may have the effect of causing us to look into the mirror rather more than we are accustomed to doing. And if you are like me, and cannot change the mirror, you may find yourself making awkward comparisons. As a Catholic, I am delighted that our bishops, unfortunately, have prevented us from taking refuge from all of this physicality in spirituality, quoting St. Paul urging the Corinthians to use our bodies for the glory of God, and calling us to a healthier and more balanced lifestyle. My wife is hoping that I will be inspired by this heady mixture of faith and sport to make a few lifestyle changes myself. But nevertheless, what is the unrealistic ideal of a perfect body so often promoted by commercial interests? I said to her. You don't really want me to look like Bradley Williams, I asked my wife, and then quickly left the room before she could answer. Two of the great phrases associated with the Olympic motto originated, as the French Baron acknowledged, with churchmen. The Olympic motto, faster, higher, stronger, was the brainchild of Father Henri Dion, a French Dominican priest. The second, not the winning but the taking part, came from a sermon by the Bishop of Central Pennsylvania at St. Paul's Cathedral during the 1908 London Olympics, as he tried to calm the anger generated by both the British and the American teams as they accused each other of cheating. These are noble ideals of conduct and relationship, which are hallmarks of nobility. That is why in our order we retain the categories of justice and grace as well as merit, because they send an important symbolic message about the desirability of certain values and virtues that we should all aspire to. These ideals of conduct, which are more than ever relevant to modern leadership, and as I say, conscious of the many distinguished heads of state and government who are now part of our order's family. Distinguished guests, the Olympic spirit is above all a spirit of peace, symbolized in the famous Olympic truce. The Games of ancient Greece were an opportunity every 4 years to help repair a fragmented society. For the 2012 Games, the truce has been signed and co-sponsored by all 193 nations taking part. And it is the inspiration behind many initiatives here in the United Kingdom, such as the church-led 100 Days of Peace project, which aims to make our streets safer and our communities more trusting. Because we badly need this kind of renewal, we are most fortunate to have had this year not just the Olympics, but also the celebration of the Diamond Jubilee of our Sovereign Queen, who embodies the very ideals of self-giving, service, loyalty and duty. Distinguished guests, dear friends, as you know, our Order is strongly committed to the service of those less fortunate. In recent years, this has resulted in millions in financial aid and charitable support to adopted charities of our Order across the world. Our very diverse programme of charitable, hospitable and humanitarian activities across the world is the result of the nights and days actively fundraising and supporting so many charities and similar organisations adopted by Your Royal Highness and Your Grand Magistral in Rome, as well as through each of the national delegations of which I have the honour to serve here in the United Kingdom and in Ireland. We support, enable vulnerable and marginal people to hear that they are more than gold in the eyes of God. And I was particularly touched, therefore, to hear the speeches from the President of Panama, Dominica and Montenegro and the Crown Prince of Tonga, who clearly follow these principles. So too, our interfaith work. We are one of the only Roman Catholic orders that is proactively recognising those of other Christian denominations and faiths, and we work with them. That is because we are so sure of the faith to which we hold. And if this evening is an indication of that, I hope that this is the message that you will take home this evening. The Royal Order of Francis I, which is the honour that is given to those of other faiths, was founded in the mid-1800s to honour people of other denominations and faiths, and indeed no faith, but who have contributed to the well-being of their society. Our interfaith conferences bring together the leaders of Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Sikh, Hindu and many other faith communities in so many parts of the world. In the autumn, for example, this delegation looks forward to hosting high-level delegations between Hungary, and we are delighted to have the Ambassador of Hungary here tonight, also the United Kingdom, Romania and Italy, following the very successful interfaith conferences held in recent years for Bulgaria. And I'm delighted that the Ambassador of the Republic of Bulgaria is here present this evening. We also have plans for interfaith conferences in Colombia, Kosovo, Italy, Jordan, and I hope that in your own way we will be able to work together in ensuring the success of these ventures. By recognising in this way those who have helped to build society, we are able to build the bonds of trust between people and between nations. For it is in giving that we receive, and that is why we can be confident that we can build here something better for ourselves and for others, and that our efforts as knights and dames and supporters of the orders have value and meaning, whether in sport or charitable endeavour, interfaith work, and in building understanding and friendship among the peoples of this glorious world. I wish you all a very happy time amongst us and at these great games.